Hi guys, welcome back to Organic Care Farm. I'm your girl Salisha and I'm here today to talk about seed starting. Something just fell. Okay, let's do that again. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Salisha from Organic Care Farm. So today I thought I would bring you guys a video all about seed starting because it's that time of year. It's mid-February and that means it's time to start thinking about what we're gonna plant for the spring. So I have a bunch of seeds here. I have them all categorized in different packets like here. I'll show you them all. I also have seeds in this box right here. These are the ones that I'm not going to plant this year. I might swap some out from my packages that I've already pre-organized. So let's start with the first thing that we're going to do. First, we obviously have to have our seeds. Now, I purchased my seeds about 4 weeks ago, and they took actually a rather long time to get to me. And then the company I ordered from, they were out of some of the seeds, so they had to call me about replacing those seeds, so with like something else. So it took them like a month to get the seeds to me, but I finally have them. I already had like a ton of seeds, obviously, from before, but I needed to get some more and get some varieties that I haven't like grown yet or experimented with. So being as this is our first year at our new homestead, the garden beds, in the previous videos, you guys should look at me amending the garden beds, putting down the mulch and getting everything ready for the spring when I bring my plants out. So I already had a bunch of seeds from before. We planted a bunch of these things before at the old place, but we haven't planted in this part of where we live. We don't know what the soil conditions are going to be exactly on this property. So this year is going to be a total experiment for us to see what we can grow in our new homestead, because this is a new property for us. So you guys should come along. So what I did was I went to the company that I know I purchased my seeds from before. And for us here in Ontario, I usually go to Hawthorne Farm. And they're in Ontario. So I get mostly all of my seeds from there, not all of them, but most of the time when we just want to purchase all of the staples, we will go to Hawthorne Farm because they have everything is basically, they mostly carry things that are for our climate, specifically zone 6. So this is what we're gonna do. So I have here in my bags, what you wanna do is be organized. Before, when I planted vegetables and things in my garden, it was just a small little garden patch and I didn't take it as serious because it wasn't really our place to be amending. Now that we're on our own property, we're going to be taking it a lot more serious and be more organized than we have been before. And that's what I'm doing. So organization is key at first. So what I did was I just grabbed some of these Ziploc bags, and on here I marked the weeks that we have to plant them before we bring them outside. So for this one specifically, it's onions. And this is called the Rosa di Malino onion, Rosa di Malino. And it requires us to plant it 8 to 12 weeks before before we bring it outside. So before the last frost date, we need to get this in the ground and in the soil 8 to 12 weeks. We have to grow it indoors. So what I'm gonna do in my next video is set up my growing area, and I'm gonna be planting these seeds in the next coming couple of days because we're about 12 weeks away. So this is perfect time for our onions because I'm starting from seed. I'm not starting from bulbs or sets or anything like that, which they have already been growing for a while. the seeds are going to be started from scratch basically, so they take a lot of time before they are ready to be put outside, and we can't get anything into the ground until around mid-May, and that's when our last frost date is. It's very easy to find out. You just have to Google the last frost date for your area and it'll tell you exactly what your last frost date is. You can also Google what zone you're in if you don't know your growing zone. That way you know what type of seeds and what types of vegetables will do better in your zone, because that's also one of the things I didn't really take into consideration when I was just doing, you know, big, small farming on my garden patch. I didn't really think about the types of plants based on where I live. So that's what I like about Hawthorne Farms, because everything is basically already ready for us to go. I don't have to research the zones or anything for most of their seeds, because it's all zone hardy for zone 6. So onions, I'm going to be doing that very soon, 8 to 12 weeks before. So once you know your frost date by Googling when your first frost date is, which mid-May for me, it's about maybe the 15th to the 20th, around that week. Is my frost date. So I'm gonna get now my calendar, good old calendars, and I'm going to mark my last frost date, and I'm gonna show you on mine here, which is May 19th is my last frost date, okay? So I put that in my calendar so I know that my plants, when I bring them out, they're not gonna freeze, because we're not gonna go through any more winter-like temperatures. So that's what you wanna make sure you do, so that you can start your plants 8 to 12 weeks, or whatever it says on the package, because all the seeds will have the directions on how to grow them in the package. And if they don't, a quick Google search will let you know how to grow those seeds. Now, it tells me here that I need 8 to 12 weeks before the last frost date. I have to start them indoors. Once the seedlings reach 12 centimeters in height, cut them back to 3 centimeters in order for them to thicken up. So that's what it says for my onions. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now on my calendar. I've written out here when I have to plant my onions. So here, March 3rd is the day I've chosen that I'm going to be planting my onion seeds. So basically any day around this week here will work to get my onion seeds in the ground. So that's when I'm going to plant my onions, and I have 8 to 10 weeks for them to grow indoors under the light and possibly a heating pad as well, so that we have big enough onions so that when we put them outside in May 19th, they won't freeze, and they'll be able to grow for the rest of May, June, July, August, how much ever time they need before we get nice big onion bulbs, and we want some nice big onions. So that's what I'm going to be doing during that time. So I'm going to show you guys some more of the seeds I have here and what I'm going to be doing. So let's see, I have them all categorized in my box, and this is why I have something to keep everything organized. I have my little permanent marker. I have a pencil, because in case you need to erase something, it's good. I like to use pencil instead of pen, because I can always erase it and move on from that. So the next longest is 8 weeks, okay? And on the seed packets, again, it tells you how much time it needs indoors before you bring them out in the spring. So I have a German chamomile, and this one says we need to sow the seeds 8 to 10 weeks before my frost date. So 8 to 10 weeks I can grow my chamomile. So all I have to do is get my calendar again, okay? And we're starting, always start on your last frost date. So get your calendar. Mine is on the 19th, right there, my last frost date. And I'm gonna count back 1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we can just go all the way back up. You're just counting the weeks just like that. It's very simple. It's not that difficult. As long as you know your last frost date, it's not rocket science to figure out when to plant the seeds. So for my chamomile, I need 8 to 10 weeks. So that's the same time that my onions are going to go into the ground, about 8 to 10 weeks. So I know that my chamomile and my onions, I will have to plant those around the same week. So I also have here some spinach. This one is not from Hawthorne. I think we picked this up at the grocery store that we went to, and they had the big, spinny rack full of veggies, and a lot of them were organic. So we picked up a few of those that we couldn't find at Hawthorne. So I have the spinach here. This one is called Long-Standing Bloomsdale Spinach, and it's from Mackenzie. And it says to sow these as soon as the ground can be worked outside. So these can be direct sown. So I'm going to put these, I'm going to put spinach on my last frost date. I'm going to put spinach. I'm also going to put some of my other direct sow things in here as well, because certain things you don't have to start them before the last frost date. You can start them basically that frost date or anytime after. You can start those seeds. So I have radish here. It is from the Cottage Gardener. It's called the German Giant. And I'm going to start, these are going to be direct sown as well. So I know the spinach and the radish are going to be also direct sown. So I'm going to put spinach, radish. I'm writing this all down in my calendar for the days here. Also my sunflowers. We can start those indoors as well, but we're probably just going to direct sow them. And I also have let's see, this one here. Yeah, this one's a 7 to 8 week. Okay, so all of my flowers, all of my radishes, my spinach, and some of the herbs, we're just gonna direct sow those seeds. So that anytime after my last frost date. So that's that. So right here you can see I put on my calendar my spinach, sunflowers, radishes. Done. So anytime during that week or after, I can plant those and I'll get a substantial amount of food. So let's move on to the next set, which is 6 to 8 weeks. So all of my seeds that take 6 to 8 weeks, I put them in one Ziploc bag. All of my seeds that are direct sow, I put them in another Ziploc bag. This is how I keep organized. So I know that everything is going to be in the right place when I go to plant them, because I don't want to have to, look around in all these different parts to find all my seeds. I know that in 6 to 8 weeks, I have to plant these, and everything is in this package, and I don't have to look around or guess or read the package. It's already here for me. So these are all direct sow. These are all 6 to 8, and these are all 8 or above. The onions are basically one of the only ones that need that long. The chamomile also needs that long. So the onions and the chamomile are the only 8 to 12 week ones that I have. All right, so let's see what we have in the 6 to 8 week bag. And that's going to go in my calendar as well. So my calendar is already getting nice and full here. I have bull's blood beets. This says to do it, sow the seeds. You can start them 5 to 6 weeks before. So that's why it's in the 6 weeks package. We also have the Chioggia Guardsmack beet. I have the red Amaranth. I want to grow this one just to have the edible leaves. They're like a dark maroony purple color. They're really, really pretty. I have a wild bergamot and cabbage. This one is called the April green cabbage. I don't know if I'll be able to plant every single, you know, type of vegetable that I want to in every package. But I will choose what I want to plant as it comes up closer. So I'm just going to show you exactly what I have. I have the Lisa Deganda eggplant. I've planted this one about 3 years in a row and I always love it. It's so beautiful. I think this is the one that has the stripes on it. It's beautiful. It's like a white and purple eggplant. It's gorgeous and it tastes amazing. And they always like produce really, really well for me, even when I'm not doing, you know, a great job keeping up with all of the aesthetics of everything. That eggplant does really well. I'm also going to do my peppers. I have some seeds that I've collected from my own pepper plants here, so you can see. I collected some of these. And I also bought some peppers as well. This one is called the King Crimson Sweet Pepper. So I'm gonna plant these two. And these are all in my 6 to 8 week package. So they're all staying there. So I know it's that 6 to 8 week, it'll be peppers, and I already have them here. So I'll show you what I have. About 12 weeks, chamomile and onions, and then a couple weeks later, it'll be the herbs, spinach, basils. A week after that, I can start my amaranth, my eggplants, my cabbage, bergamot, my peppers. So I have all that in there. And then once we get a little bit closer, 4 to 6 weeks, I have some of these. So I have my flowers. These are zinnias. They're called Zara Rose Starlight zinnias. And I also have sunflowers. I can start with sunflowers at this point, but I'm gonna wait a little while because I don't want to have huge plants in my house because they grow pretty quickly. I have Blacktail Mountain watermelon. I'm definitely growing some watermelon. I have Greek oregano, a calendula mix. That's gonna be cool. I've never grown calendula before. A cucumber, can't really say that. And a broccoli. Now I don't know if I'm gonna actually grow the broccoli this year, or I'm not sure if I'm gonna start it in like late summer to have like a early winter harvest. We'll see about that. But this is my 4 to 6 week pile. So I know all of these seeds in my 4 to 6 week bag are all gonna start 4 to 6 weeks before my last frost date. Let's get on to the last package here, which is my 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so 2 to 3 weeks, we have more, some nasturtiums. These are just flowers. I have more nasturtiums because I want to plant a lot of flowers this year. Usually we only plant sunflowers, but this time I want to plant a lot more and a nice variety of flowers. We're going to do eggplant. This one is, a cucumber. This one's called the Sunter cucumber. We're going to probably do the zucchini as well. And this one is called the Black Beauty zucchini. This is the Winter Destiny romaine lettuce. This one is the pumpkin pie, the New England pumpkin pie pumpkin. I've never grown pumpkin before. It'd be something nice to experiment with. So this is gonna be cool to grow and see what happens. And I also have another zucchini here as well. So that is all with 2 to 3 weeks before my frost date. So 2 to 3 weeks before May 19th. I can plant these inside under my lights, under my heating pad, and then I will have really, really nice, healthy plants that are a big enough size so that when they go outside, they have enough time to grow and mature and produce enough fruit and vegetables so that we have a good amount to harvest. So I think that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope I explained everything to you. In our next video, I'm gonna show you what how I'm starting the onions and what I'm growing inside. That's gonna be another bonus for you guys because I'm growing something under a light here that my son just really wanted to grow. So I was like, fine, we'll grow something under the light, and we've been doing that for about 2 weeks. It's going pretty good. So thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you stay organized, and I'm telling you, for good gardening, your best friend is your calendar. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. It really helps us out here on the farm. And come back to watch us grow this brand new homestead from 0 to hopefully hero. Peace.